This is a router kind of to end all routers if you're into customization. Hey everyone, this is Josh Smith with GottaMeMobile.com, and a lot of times we're talking about smartphones and mobile devices, but when we're not connecting to LTE, we need a really good Wi-Fi network, and covering an entire house can be a big challenge, and that's where some new routers are stepping in, and LinkSys is back, and they have the WRT1900AC. This is a dual band gigabit Wi-Fi router. This thing is very much a top of the line router. It runs about $250. We get AC connectivity, we get good range, we have 2.4 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz. And because houses aren't always the same and it can be a challenge, we have 4 antennas that we can configure, and we have beamforming technology to help improve the overall network connectivity. So we're going to open this up and take a closer look at the LinkSys WRT1900AC. So let's pull this router open. We have some very nice packaging to protect this $250 router, and we'll set that to the side so we can take a closer look at our router. And this is kind of a throwback to that classic blue and black LinkSys design that probably a lot of people remember from early routers in the WRT series. On the front of the device here, we have our LinkSys branding, and we have an area to see what kind of connections we have as far as to the internet, our 2.4 gigahertz, our 5 gigahertz eSATA, USB 1, USB 2, and then some connectivity over here on the side. Now, as we look at this router, it is pretty big. Over here we have 1 antenna, 2 antenna, 3 antenna, 4 antennas on this thing that you can adjust and configure as you need them. I believe this is like a push button to connect, and these aren't just any Ethernet port. These are all gigabit Ethernet, so you're going to have the fastest speed you can have at home, really, to transfer these files across your own network while you're connected to Ethernet. Now, things will change over Wi-Fi, and if you're trying to download stuff, you're not going to be able to leverage the full speed of that because your internet connection probably isn't that fast. Internet connection plug here, so we have 4 places to plug in. We have a USB 3.0 port, and it looks like this we can either use as a USB port or a eSATA port. And then we have a reset button, a power cord, and a hard switch to connect. Now, we'll take a look at what else is included in this device. Some of the interesting things about this is you can control your home network using an iPhone app to actually monitor and control some things, and you can actually change settings, control who can connect, some parental controls to configure when people can connect to the internet. So we have 4 different antenna that we can simply connect, and then you're going to be able to position these for the optimal home connectivity. And that's important because in my case, I need to connect this router in my home office because that's where the cable comes in for our home internet connection. And that's all on one side of the house, and I need to deliver connectivity wirelessly to the bedroom to connect iPads, iPhones, various tablets, to the living room where I have an Apple TV, an Xbox, other streaming devices, and then also to the basement where I have a game room, and I probably have between 10 and 30 devices connected to my home Wi-Fi network. And a lot of times when I'm trying to stream something at the far end of the house, around walls and doors and stuff like that, I see performance issues. And so I'm hoping that using this WRT1900AC, that with this new AC technology, which I don't have on my current router, an Apple time capsule from before the most recent version, that with AC, with this beamforming technology, and with these great antenna, I'll be able to get more connectivity in my own home, and I'll be able to do some of the management of this router using my iPhone whether I'm at home or whether I'm on the go and I need to grant someone connectivity to my home network if they're visiting. Now we do have a power brick, which you don't want to set on this while it is running because it could overheat. And we have a small power cord that plugs into that. This does ship with a flat cord Ethernet cable. And one of the interesting things about this router is that it stays true to this WRT root. So if you were a fan of these earlier routers, you can actually install some open source software and leverage more connectivity and more control over this device. Now, the smart Wi-Fi software has a network map, so I can see basically all the devices that are on my network, check their signal strength, and do a lot more just from my phone. And this is a pretty powerful router. Your regular home router probably is not going to feature a dual-core 1.2 gigahertz CPU and all this connectivity here in the back. So you are paying more than a traditional router, but it looks like you're going to get quite a bit for that. And we're going to be putting this to the use. We're going to run a few tests before we set this up using an older router that is common. And then we'll hook this bad boy up and see what we can do. We have OS X, we have Windows 8, Windows 8.1, Android, iPhone, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, Apple TV, Chromecast. We have a ton of devices on this network, so we're really going to put it through its paces, see how they connect. We're going to see how we can use some of these ports back here to back up not only Mac, but also a Windows device, and see what kind of stuff we have available there. So that is our unboxing and first look at this very aggressive looking LinkSys WRT1900AC. Again, this retails for about $200. If you like this video, click like, hit subscribe to see a lot more about the smartphones that we cover, tablets, other things like that. And you can head over to GottaBeMobile.com and see more about how this router performs.